Hello everyone, how are you? A very good morning to everyone who has joined. I see Ganga, Masuma, Ajitat is there, Chatan is there. We'll just wait for another 10-15 seconds for all of other people to join in, right? Because we have to cover a lot of things today. We'll complete our chapter number 1. We'll also go to chapter number 2, right? Hey, I see a lot of other people. Shivam, Manisha is there, Dhanesh, Manmohan, Mohit, Dhanesh again. Good morning, Sumit, Bhumika, Harshita, Misha. Awesome. Good to see you guys participating, right? That is something that I've always asked all of you to do because that is how you're going to get the concepts right. The more we talk, the more clarity you have. Great. There is there. Already is there. Awesome, Ankit. Ganesh, I see Jaspreet, also Himank. Good job, Mayur. Shashank, Varsha, Tulsi. Great. Happy morning to you as well, Tulsi. Cool. So we have an answer. Dhanesh is on point talking about MLA and MP, right? They're not in the business because they're not invested any money, no profit. So there was a question in the last session that whether MLAs or member of parliaments, whether they are into your business, profession, or are they, let's say, what do I call them? Do I call them a business person? Do I call them a professional? Or do I call them a employee of the government, right? So he says they can they can be professionals because their such qualification is completed, but they're personally professional, like Piyush Goyal, Suresh Prabhu, probably that is a different thing, right? But we think government employees they are employed because they're getting salary, hence I think they are employees, but not more educated, right? Okay. Now, the point is, I will explain to you what that means, right? I'll explain it to you. What that means is basically what is happening here is it is simple, okay? Now, think about this. We're talking about economic activities and non economic activities. Now, think about this. The very basic definition of dividing an economic activity and a non economic activity was the motive behind the thing, right? Ideal scenario. I'm just giving you the ideal scenario. Let us not go into what people do, what MLAs or MPs do. But the motive of becoming a member of parliament or the motive of becoming an MLA is non-economic. They are selfless motive. They are doing through for the betterment of the society. They are becoming a government servant. They are becoming the elected members of the representative people of India for the selflessness, for because they have a selfless motive, right? It is not because to earn money. It is not to make profits. It is not to earn a salary. It is not to be a professional fees. They're not taking a professional fees. They're not taking a salary. They're not doing it for profits, right? That is why it is a non-economic activity that they do in the ideal scenario. So neither it is a business, neither it is an employment, neither it is a professional service. It is a non-economic activity, right? That is where you will get confused, right? No worries. So employees. A lot of you were saying employees are public servants or professionals as well as employees. The answer is none of them. They are doing a non-economic activity, right? The motive, even if they're getting money for that, the motive, the basic idea why they're doing that is not for money, not for profits, not for professional fee. They're doing it for the betterment of the society, right? Ideal scenario to wahi hai. It depends how people treat or how people are. That's a different thing altogether. But the basic idea of being a member of parliament or a member of legislative assembly, that is MLA, or any politician per se, it is non-economic, right? It is not done to earn money, right? It is a non-economic activity and it will not fall under any of those three, right? Cool. So I think that solves the answer for you that you have to think out of the box. You have to think beyond what is being taught to make sense of what is being taught, right? Cool. Let us quickly start from where we left off. We left off at right the previous slide. You remember we talked about sustainable objectives of business, profitability, people well-being, and planet sustainability. Right. This is where we stopped talking in the last session, and a few examples being Like, for example, your ITC Grand Hotel, right? They're the greenest hotels. That is a social responsibility. That is a sustainable motive they have taken. That their hotels do not pollute at all. They are one of the greenest chains of hotel in the world. Or like Lemon Tree. Lemon Tree gives employment to disabled people or differently abled people, right? So Lemon Tree gives employment to a lot of differently abled people in their hotel chains. That is a sustainable objective. सिर्फ profit नहीं कमाना है. Doing good for the society, doing good for the planet as a whole is also something that the businesses should aim at, right? Similarly, Hindustan Unilever has Project Shakti, wherein they're empowering rural women, right? So giving employment to rural women, and that becomes part of the sustainable objectives of business, right? Okay, cool. Great. Any questions there? Any changes in the book? There would be a few changes. New examples. There will be new examples. There might be the order of the topics might have changed, right? More tables, more graphs in some of the chapters, more questions at the back of the book, right? So it's probably, if you are not able to buy those books, just go online, read from the PDF if that helps you, right? It's free. Or even if you have to buy, I think you should buy. It's going to be an investment for you, right? Buying the study material is going to be more like an investment for you. Sure. Vanshika, everything, see, module से explain करेंगे तो फिर तो spoon feeding हो गई, right? My idea is I abide by that. मैं एक line study material की नहीं पढ़ाऊंगा like other people want to do. Why I'll tell you, आपको आदत ही नहीं पड़ेगी, right? Once you become a professional, no one is going to come and spoon feed you, right? People will help you. People will come and explain you the concept, and you only have to go and read stuff, right? That is something that I learned the hard way, and I want you to learn that as well. लोग समझा जरूर देंगे, but spoon feeding कोई नहीं करेगा, right? So same thing. I am going to help you with the concept. I'm going to give you a lot of examples. We'll do a lot of questions. Study material की एक line, I'm not going to do that. That is your job. You will have to do that, right? Harsh lagega, but then again, this is important for you. In the next 4-5 years, you will understand what I'm saying, right? Cool. So sustainable objective we were talking about, it is not just about making money. It is about people well-being plus planet sustainability, taking care of the planet as well. That is sustainable objective of the business. सिर्फ पैसा नहीं कमाना है. We have to take care of the people, the society, as well as the planet, right? All right. We understood human activity into economic and non-economic. Non-economic समझ आ गया, altruism, selflessness. It is about people doing things without any greed, without any motive of money involved. When the motive involves a lot of money or motive involves earning money out of a particular activity, it is called economic activity. Abhi economic activity ke we had three things. Under economic activity, we had three things. The first one was business, second was aapka profession, and third was employment, right? Now, we are focusing, this particular syllabus is about business and commercial knowledge. तो हम लोग focus करेंगे business के ऊपर, right? Under business, we have 5 forms of organization. 5 तरीके से एक business का structure, एक form हो सकता है, right? It can be a sole proprietorship, it can be an HUF, it can be a partnership, it can be formed as an LLP, which is limited liability partnership, or it can also be a company, right? Company के अंदर again we have private and public, right? Company के अंदर again we will study private होगा and we will also have public, right? So 5 forms of business organization we are going to study quickly. बहुत simple है. You know what these mean. Quickly we'll revise and understand the characteristic, the good things and the bad things. 5 forms of business: sole proprietorship, HUF, partnership, limited liability partnership, and company. Company के अंदर 2 तरीके, private and public, right? Awesome. Absolutely. I asked one question about politicians and that I answered as well. If you're late, Mansi, probably I've answered that as well. Sai, what is your question? I think Okay, you are attempting May 22. So that is what I'm. So what is your question? ICAI how? So you're asking about the study material. I answered that as well. There would be changes. Always refer the latest study material. I will upload the PPT after today because aaj we'll complete chapter 1. So I'll upload this PPT after this. Sai, your texts are reaching me. Cool. I think there's some noise. I think I requested my neighbor to not do construction today, but I don't think they are listening to me. But probably I requested them. They might stop in another 10-15 minutes. Sure, let us move on to understand the first form of business, which is sole proprietorship. Right? We are studying the first kind of thing, which is sole proprietorship. What is sole proprietorship form of business? Very simple. एक एग्जाम्पल ले लीजिए. Any shop around your house, कोई भी जनरल स्टोर है, talk about any general store, any shopkeeper, any clothes shop, general store हो गया, tailor हो गया, right? Your mother or your father would be going to a tailor, right? They might have a boutique, they have the vegetable vendor है, fruits vendor है. All these are sole proprietors. Or shops, आपका mobile shop है, mobile repair shop है, you have your different like shops where you have chips and Pepsi and everything. You go and buy those things. The dhobi, right? The dhobi or the press wala bhaiya or didi, whoever you go to, they all are sole proprietors. That is a business. They're doing a business to earn profits. वो business कर रहे हैं to make profits. And the form of the business is sole proprietorship. Sole proprietorship is the most abundant in India. Sole proprietorship होता क्या है? Sole proprietor. Sole means single. Sole means single, one, right? Sole proprietorship. Proprietorship means owner, right? Proprietorship means ownership. Proprietor means owner. Sole means one. Proprietorship means owner. So only one owner, right? It's a one-person setup. It's a one person. Shopkeeper वही मालिक है खुद, right? The owner of the shop is the only person who is taking decisions across everything. कौन सा माल दुकान में आएगा? What stuff will be there? Which product will be displayed on the top of the shelf? कहाँ जाएगा? From where will I purchase? What will I sell? How will I sell? कौन से दिन दुकान खोलेंगे? I will not open my shops on Tuesday. I will not open my shop on Sunday. That person, the owner, is deciding everything related to the business. That is one person setup. That is sole proprietorship. Autonomy, right? अपने राजा हम खुद हैं. I am taking all the decisions for myself. No one else is taking decisions for me. I take my own decisions. One person setup. It's one's own boss. आप अपने खुद boss हो. You are your own boss. There is no one who is giving you instructions. You are the owner of your business. That is one person setup. Right? It's basically on the small scale, right? Shopkeeper हो गए, traders हैं, you have tailors, or you have your laundry वाला भैया, or your shop nearby, mobile repair, paneer दूध की shop है, the milkman, or the dairy in your area. So everything is sole proprietorship. They're small scale, right? They're not a very big company. They're not a very big business. So does a business. Right? Small shop or even a medium-sized shop, they're doing a daily business kind of thing. They're their own owners, some decisions they're taking themselves. Sole proprietorship. Their contribution to GDP and even exports is very strong because it is most abundant. India में, if you're doing business, around 80% of the people are sole proprietors. अगर India में, if India has around, let's say 50 lakh businesses, 80% of them are sole proprietors, right? 80% of the businesses in India are around sole proprietors. Most abundant in India. हर कोई sole proprietor से ही शुरू करता है. Everyone starts at a small scale, their business, and they're mostly always working as a sole proprietor, right? Easy succession of business. दुकान पे क्या होता है? Think about this. There's a shopkeeper on the shop. When the shopkeeper is, let's say, 50-60 years old, they say, आज से मेरा बेटा और बेटी बैठना शुरू कर, right? Their children come on the shop and they start sitting on the shop, right? Their kids, probably the boy or the girl of the uncle or the auntie, they come and start doing that business. So shop पे बैठ जाते, they start doing that business, even if it is a small manufacturing unit, right? Let's say it's a boutique. Auntie का boutique है, her daughter comes and sits on that boutique now. It's easy succession of business. ऐसा नहीं है कि वी हैव टू गो एंड फाइंड आउट एक नया सीईओ ढूंढो, फाइंड अ सीएफओ, कौन करेगा, इन्वेस्टर ढूंढो, गो एंड फाइंड बैंक, ये यू डोंट हैव टू डू दैट. Easy succession. Someone from the family, you tell them, boss, aaj se aap, you start and doing this business, you continue the business, I am retiring. Easy succession. Product quality, not of global standards. We know that, right? The milk person or the mobile repair wali shop in your local area is not going to be like a global standard. Apple ke repair centers jaise it is not going to be, right? It is not going to be like an Apple repair center. It is not going to be a global standard. It's product quality is not the aim of these businesses, right? They're not aiming for the best quality in India. Meri dukaan pe milegi. That is not how these businesses function, right? No worries, Sai. Your question was, I always say it's okay. It's okay. Do not. There is no hurry, right? Even if it is taking you attempts, do not worry on that. There is no hurry. Jaldi karke karoge kya, right? It's okay to like fail once or twice. That is how this course is, right? When you signed up for the course, you were mentally prepared. This is how this course functions, right? So probably you will have to work on it, and it's okay, right? Koi jaldi nahi hai. Some of my friends became CAs at 22, 23. I did not, right? No one cares, right? At the end of the day, once you become a chartered accountant, no one would even care about that. So there is no hurry. You can restart studying, think from a fresh perspective, start a new day, right? And keep studying. If you like this thing, you would eventually do. If you do not like it, then it's a problem. But if you like this thing, if you want to achieve this, you want to do this, then go ahead, keep doing it, right? Cool. I think Sai, that helps. If not, let me know after class. Probably I'll spend 2 minutes with you. Not a worry problem. Cool. Focus on the syllabus now. Leave about these thoughts and let us focus on study. That is going to be more important. Even you and me both know that, right? Okay. Unorganized and uninformal. That means it is unorganized and informal. ऐसा नहीं है कि that you have a lot of structure. CEO, then CFOs are sitting. You have a board meeting. You have employees. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. There is a shop. There is a trader. There is a transport wala, auto wala है, और your e-rickshaw wala bhaiya, right? What are they doing? They're sole proprietors. Let's say I am a trader. I have 5 e-rickshaws. मैंने 5 e-rickshaws I have given to 5 boys. They drive those e-rickshaws from metro to different parts of the city. And every day I pay them, let's say 200 rupees, right? And whatever they earn, they pay back to me. I earn profits from that. That is a sole proprietor's kind of a business. It is unorganized. आज कोई someone is driving a e-rickshaw, कल कोई और हो जाएगा, I'll buy one more, I'll sell one e-rickshaw, business नहीं चल रहा है तो. It's an unorganized, uninformal sector, right? It keeps changing. There is no format कि भाई CEO होगा, CFO होगा, I have to go and check with this. There is no finance team. There is no production team. There is no this team, that. It's just a simple business of a sole proprietor, right? Unlimited liability of the owner. If the profit is for the owner, the pura risk bhi to owner ka hai. If the shop does not work out, right? If you have, let's say, you started a shop of, let's say, fashion garments, right? Apne jackets, you started a shop, you think, yeah, aajkal everyone is buying those sneakers, everyone is buying jackets. You start a shop. उस shop में you like put in stock of, let's say, 20 lakhs के कपड़े, fashionable jackets and shoes and chains and watches, everything you put. If the shop does not work out, people do not come and visit your shop or do not come and buy stuff from your shop, 20 lakhs ka risk is also yours. You cannot go and say to your employee, nahi, aap to risk le lo. You were working with me. That boy came from a small town, or let's say gaon se koi aaya hai. You kept them as a helper in your shop. And you say, nahi, mere ko loss ho gaya, 5 lakh rupees tu bhi bhar. That is not how it functions, right? The owner has the entire risk appetite, has to take this entire risk and loss, right? Lack of employee welfare, right? That is what I'm saying. People change, like there is no employee welfare. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि if someone is working in a shop, you will go and see. All these helpers keep changing in these sole proprietorship business. आज कोई और काम कर रहा था दुकान में, कल कोई और. Then you have another boy or a girl working in that shop. रोज ही change हो रहा है. There is no employee welfare. There is no PPF. They don't get salary payments. They do not get money in the bank. They do not have this PPF thing. They do not have this Form 16 bharo, tax bharo. All this employee welfare is not. It's a very informal, unorganized employee structure as well in these forms of business, right? Cool. Self-employment, same as this, right? Self-employment is basically, if you're not employed for someone else, you're doing it for yourself, you're self-employed. Especially your businesses and professionals are self-employed, right? That is self-employment. Awesome. Okay, we'll answer these questions, Mugdha. So these are off syllabus questions. I would really request all the questions you have related to examinations or say admin or CA course, we'll keep it for the end, right? Otherwise it breaks my flow, right? I would really appreciate if you ask questions from what we are studying, right? But a flow to jagger and then it creates a problem from everyone who is joined, right? So keep these questions for the end. I'll be happy to answer them as always, right? Awesome. Let us move on to a question, right? Quickly, everyone, use your brains, recharge your brains, and give me the answer to this question on your screen, okay? Why do all the risks of the sole proprietorship accrue to the owner? Sara risk sole proprietorship ka, why would the owner own the entire risk? Why will the owner own the entire risk? Why do you think so? इज टेलर प्रोफेशनल? टेलर की कौन सी सर डिग्री होती है? सो मैं वी स्टडीड अबाउट प्रोफेशनल्स, कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट होना चाहिए, मैंडेटरी डिग्री होनी चाहिए. टेलर की कौन सी डिग्री होती है? हैव यू हर्ड आई एम मास्टर्स एमटीएस, मास्टर्स इन टेलर सर्विसेज? कभी सुना है? नहीं होता ना. So tailor is not basically a professional. You cannot call a tailor as a professional. They are skilled people, right? Tailor is a skill. It is, he or she is not a professional. They are skilled people. That is their skill. Awesome. Everyone says A. Some people are writing 5 times A. Okay, cool. Awesome. Does sole proprietorship pay taxes? Absolutely. Why not? क्यों नहीं भरेंगे? Business means you have to pay tax, right? Business में तो slab भी नहीं होता. If you know taxes, if you study taxes, business has a flat percentage, but sole proprietorship में is basically an individual slab, right? We'll come to that. With taxation, you'll understand all of this. Awesome. The correct answer is also A. Smart folks out here. I'm teaching one of the smartest lots, I think, right? You guys, or maybe I have to make the questions tougher, is what I'm understanding. From next sessions, I will make the questions really tough so that you understand कि भाई इतना आसान question नहीं आएगा, right? Cool. So why does the risk of the sole proprietorship fall to the owner? Because the profits also fall to the owner only. Cool. The number 2 is Hindu undivided family kind of a business, right? Acha. What happens? Abhi, if there is a family, and we're talking about Hindu, Buddhist, Jain, Sikh, all these are included in Hindu undivided family, okay? Your Hindu, your Buddhist, your Jain, your Sikh families, all of these are covered under Hindu undivided family form of business, right? But the difference between this and sole proprietorship is, right, it is similar to sole proprietorship, but difference kya hai? It is automatically formed based on Hindu ancestry, including wives and daughters. जैसे ही आपकी शादी होगी, शादी होते ही आपके बच्चे होंगे, if you're doing a business, that creates a Hindu undivided family, right? If you are a sole proprietor, you get married, right? And you have kids now, right? It becomes, and you're covered under the Hindu Ancestry Act. If you're covered under the Hindu Accession Act, you form part of the Hindu undivided family form of business. It is to be registered separately in taxation. ऐसा नहीं होता, automatically तो बन जाता है, but still you have to register yourself. You have to decide. See, out of these 5 forms of business, you have to decide आपको कौन सा form of business करना है, right? Out of these 5 forms of business, you as a business person, you are an entrepreneur. आप एक business करते हो, आप एक startup कर रहे हो, right? You're starting a company, you're starting, let's say not a company, you're starting a business. Out of these 5 things, you have to identify कि भाई मुझे किस form of business I want to do my business. Whether I want to be a sole proprietorship form of business, whether I want to be an HUF, partnership में काम करना है, limited liability partnership बनानी है, or I want to work as a company, right? Sole proprietorship और आपका Hindu undivided family is somewhat of the same, but this is only by ancestry, right? पुश्तों से चलती आती. This is based on your ancestry. So your father, then you have 2 brothers, you have kids. They all become part of the business, right? That is what this thing says. Formed in a joint family setup. You should have a joint family setup. Abhi the concept is abhi kam hota ja raha hai, right? A lot of us do not live in joint family. We live in nuclear families. We just live with your parents. Your dada dadi, your nana nani lives in a different place, probably for most of us, right? And the members should be married. The members are married. The members are married. Marriage तो बहुत बड़ा defining factor है. Marriage is a defining factor to call it an HUF, right? You become a member, right? But शादी होना बहुत जरूरी है to form part of an Hindu undivided family. Family तभी बनेगी when you get married, right? The capital is huge in this business as multiple members pool their funds. You put your money, your brother, your sister, your parents, your dada, your dadi, your mummy, your papa, everyone is putting money into this kind of a business. When it is a Hindu undivided family, capital comes from a lot of people because a lot of people are members in the business, right? तो बहुत ज़्यादा पैसा होता है. Quick decision making होती है. Hindu undivided family quick decision making होती है. How? Now you say यार joint family है. How is decision making quick? यहाँ तो लड़ाइयाँ ही होती रहेंगी. People will keep fighting. Brothers will keep fighting. Sisters will keep fighting. Parents will keep fighting. Your dada versus your father will keep fighting. कि यार ये गलत है, ये करना चाहिए, वो करना चाहिए. How is it quick decision making? What happens here is head of the family is called Karta, and he always takes the decisions, right? Head of the family is called Karta. Karta means by age, by relation, whoever is the head of the family, he or she will take the decision, right? Simple as that. बाकी सब छोटे भाई बहन अपने आप are not allowed to take decisions. The highest by age, by the virtue of birth, जो सबसे बड़े हैं घर में, they will take all the decisions, right? This is a kind of business that is there in Hindu undivided family, right? It is based on relation. अभी आपको समझ नहीं आता if you start thinking यार ये क्या बात है, मतलब बड़े हैं तो वो decision लेंगे. If this form of business does not suit you, you go for a sole proprietorship, you go for a partnership, you go for an NLP, you go and form a company. जबरदस्ती थोड़ी ना HUF बनाना. But if this is a structure that your business has, right? A lot of people from Marwari community in Rajasthan, or let's say a lot of Baniya families in Rajasthan or Gujarat, or let's say in Kolkata in West Bengal, a lot of these people have HUFs, right? If you understand this, a lot of these old businesses, jitne bhi like Marwari businesses or Baniya businesses, a lot of them are still working as HUS, Hindu undivided families, right? It has a separate legal status under Income Tax Act. Right? Income Tax Act के लिए HUF is a separate entity from the Karta, from the members. It's a separate entity. HUF का tax अलग होता है, Karta and members का tax अलग होता है. Right? If you are a member in HUF, you are different from HUF. दोनों जगह आपको tax भरना पड़ेगा. HUF का tax तो आप भरेंगे ही as a business. You will also file your income tax return or your income tax as a member. जो आपको salary मिलेगी business से, जो आपको profits मिलेंगे, you will have to put taxes on that as well, right? Automatic co-owners by birth. Automatic co-owners by birth. The moment a child is born in the family, he or she becomes the member of HUF, right? Members are called co-parceners. Members are called co-parceners. The head of the family is called Karta, जो decision लेते हैं. बाकी सब लोग, छोटे भाई बहन, सब लोग are called co-parceners, बच्चे, भाई बहन, all the kids, all the brothers and sisters, all everyone who is younger to the Karta is called co-parcener. You become a member or the co-owner by birth. पैदा होते ही देयर इज नो, ऐसा नहीं आप कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बनाएंगे ओनली देन यू बिकम अ मेंबर, बाय बर्थ यू बिकम अ मेंबर इन HUF. अनलिमिटेड लायबिलिटी ऑफ द कर्ता इफ द बिजनेस फ्लॉप्स, क्योंकि डिसीजन ये ले रहे हैं. इफ द डिसीजंस आर बीइंग टेकन बाय कर्ता, रिस्क भी पूरा कर्ता उठाएंगे, राइट. Unlimited liability of the कर्ता. If the business fails, if the business goes bankrupt, business के पास पैसा नहीं है to repay loans, कर्ता will have to repay from his or her personal belongings, right? क्योंकि decisions आप ले रहे हैं. जब decisions कर्ता ले रहे हैं, all the risk will also be for कर्ता. Because of your decisions, the business failed, right? So unlimited liability of the कर्ता as per law. If the co-partners want to help the कर्ता, that is a different thing. But by law, अगर पुलिस आके पकड़ेगी, अगर बैंक आके पकड़ेगा, तो वो कर्ता को पकड़ेगा. They will come and say, boss, हमारा पैसा दो. Pay back our loan, pay back our money. You are the कर्ता, you are the decision maker of HUF. Give our money back. Co-partners के ऊपर कोई legal action नहीं. However, if co-partners want to help the कर्ता, obviously their family, बड़ा भाई बहन, they want to help, they can help. But legal action will only be taken against कर्ता. Okay, difficult to sustain in changing family dynamics. Absolutely, right? Aajkal it's becoming difficult to sustain because majority of us will shift to a different city to work or to get a job or to start a business, right? We don't understand कि यार आप पुराना business कर रहे हो. I don't want my father's elder brother to take decisions for my business, right? Probably that is how our mentality is changing. And so this is becoming difficult in new family dynamics, right? Succession is a legal trouble, right? अभी after कर्ता, if they say कि नहीं यार HUF, let us close HUF, अपना अपना काम करेंगे, we are not understanding HUF. How will this thing divide, right? How will we divide this entire business? That is a big trouble. कितना किसको हिस्सा मिलेगा? That is always a problem in family businesses. That किसको कितना % धंधा मिलेगा? How much money, how much share in the business will who get? I have 4 kids. My brother might have 1 kid. My kids get 4, like it is divided into 5 kids now. Right? Think about this. If I have 4 kids, my brother has 1 kid, the business is going to divide it into 5 kids now, right? So my kids get 4 out of 5 shares. His kid gets 1 out of 5 share. Ideally, they will say that हमारे पास तो equal आना चाहिए था ना. We should have equal. We say नहीं, you shouldn't have equal. We are all members in the business. So सबको 5 से divide करके we get that. Then it becomes a problem, right? Tata and Haldiram are HUF? I don't think so. They are not HUF. That is, I don't think so. They're HUF, right? Awesome. Does the HUF become liable if the person other than Karta does the transaction? See, there are different legal things that happen, right? Hard and fast rule nahi hai. There is no hard and fast rule. Ki co-partner goes and does a fraud, police comes and pakdos the Karta. That might not be the case. Like if co-partner is doing a fraud, police usko pakdegi, right? All right. So Samir has a question: if the decision in HUF, the discussion hona chahiye. Absolutely, Samir. See, the point is, this is what the law says. How you want to make your business function is upon you, right? As per law, Karta will take all the decisions. But if Karta says ki nahi yaar, let us sit down and understand, let us take decisions collectively. I am the Karta by law, that is okay. But I want all of you also to come sit and let us decide for the business, right? That is how things will function, right? But legally, Karta is the decision. That is what, see, law kya karega? Law define karega. Law will define. Now, I'm giving you an example. Abhi aap road pe you're going and driving a car. Okay? Aap gaadi chala rahe, the maximum speed that you can achieve is 70 kilometers per hour. There is a board, maximum speed 70, right? अगर आप 50 पे चलाओ तो क्या आपको चालान कटेगा? नहीं. That is your choice. That is your choice. The law says you cannot exceed 70 kilometers. अभी 70 से ऊपर जाओगे तो चालान कटेगा. But if you drive your car at 50, 40, 30, चालान थोड़ी ना कटेगा. It is upon you how you want to drive. हाँ, maximum limit law बता देगा. So in basic structure, law will tell you this is what is the right thing. How you want to work around it, that's your job, right? Similarly, यहाँ पे if in HUF the daughters get married and if the family wants to adopt a child, do they remain members of the business purpose? A lot of legal. ये देखो, this is good question, Ajita. Now I'll tell you why I wrote this. ठीक है? You say people adopt. Now, if let's say I do 3 marriages, or some female member in the family does 2 marriages, तो क्या होगा? Hindu undivided family का क्या होगा? Right? That is, succession is a legal trouble. Difficult to sustain in changing family dynamics. Legal trouble शुरू हो जाता है, right? Everything has a solution, but it creates a lot of problem, right? It creates a lot of problem. Let's say you and your sister, like you do 2 marriages, your sister does 2 marriages. अभी क्या होगा? Like 4 people. अब जो business is divided into, let's say 8 people now. You'll be thinking, यार मेरे को 100 rupees का 50% मिलना था. Now I'm getting 5 rupees because it is divided into 20 people. Right? Legal trouble शुरू हो जाता है. It is difficult to sustain in changing family dynamics. So a lot of things are changing in our society, and that is ये redundant होता जा रहा है. It is becoming difficult to sustain. That is what this thing also says. सब कुछ solve हो जाता है from a legal thing, but it creates a lot of trouble for you, right? Problem तो खड़ी हो जाती है. Even if you will have to go to a court, lawyers say you will have to consult, you will have to sit down, you will have fights among your families. क्या use हुआ, right? So co-partners are the employees, not at all. No, sir, you are missing the point. Co-partners are not the employee. ये देखिए, what is this written? Automatic co-owners by birth. Employee नहीं है, owner है. They are the owner. They are, आप समझ लीजिए, shareholder हैं. They are like owners. They own the profits. Profit का share है उनके पास. They are not employees. They are not paid salaries. उनके पास profit का share जाता है. They are co-owners by birth. Okay, they are not employees. Awesome. Is Reliance is HUF? I don't think so. Reliance is all limited company. HUF कैसे हो सकती है? मयूर, Reliance is a limited company, boss. Share market में HUF कैसे आएगी? It's difficult. पहले हो सकती है. Probably 20-30 years ago it might be. I don't know. Sure. See, Dayabhaga and Mitakshara are 2 types of HUFs, right? Probably you will have to understand more. Google about those things, right? I would suggest, because I don't think that is even covered in the syllabus per se from an examination perspective, right? But BSc mein we have studied this. Class 11, 12th mein we have studied Dayabhaga, Mitakshara, HUF, right? I think you're coming from there. Cool. Absolutely. Karta can be decision with others, but final decision will be of the Karta. Absolutely. Abhi you can sit down in a family and think you will take decisions collectively. Final decision to mummy papa pe hota hai, right? Same thing. Absolutely. Limitations by law, management is our choice. Absolutely. Great thing, Varun. Cool. Thanks, Sai. Thanks. Okay. Haldiram Namkeen is an HUF for Google. I had no clue, Abhi. Haldiram is HUF. That's an information for me. Thanks, man. I will go and study on this. Haldiram's is HUF. Padna padega. This is an interesting thing, right? Thanks for the information for everyone, though. It's strange, yeah, if they're working as an HUF, such a big business. Think about this. Kitna challenge hoga unke paas, right? I'll study on this. Great. Cool. Is it registered? Absolutely, yes. It is registered. ऐसे हवा में नहीं होती. HUF is a registered entity. It is a separate legal status under Income Tax Act. इसको register होना पड़ता है, right? Okay. Let us come to ये तो हमको पता ही भाई. Partnership तो हमें पता ही है. What is partnership? Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, partnership, right? Rahul Dravid, Sachin Tendulkar, partnership. Partnership तो हमको पता ही है. What is partnership? It is a contractual co-ownership between 2 or more people. Okay. It is a contractual co-ownership between 2 or more people. Contract होता है. There is a partnership contract of co-ownership. Everyone is the owner. The partners are the owner between 2 or more people. 2 or more, ज़्यादा भी हो सकता है, right? It is a contractual agreement. Capital infusion from partners, right? See, capital infusion is done by partners. जो partners होते हैं, they invest money into the business. They put capital. वो पैसा डालते हैं business में, business को grow करने के लिए. Now, the beautiful thing about आपका partnership is there is no limit on number of partners as per the act. अभी पार्टनरशिप एक्ट क्या कहता है कि भाई देयर कैन बी एक्स नंबर ऑफ पार्टनर्स, ठीक है? आप 1,00,000 लोगों की पार्टनरशिप बना रहे, बट दैट इज नॉट हाउ इट इज. देयर आर स्पेसिफिक रूल्स ऑफ कंपनी मिसलेनियस रूल्स 2014 They say that there can be maximum 100 partners. It's a trick question. It's a trick question. Remember this. Partnership Act के हिसाब से, as per Partnership Act, there is no limit to the number of partners. But companies miscellaneous rules, there are company miscellaneous rules 2014, it says कि maximum number of partners in a partnership can only be 100. 100 से ज़्यादा partners नहीं हो सकते, right? Profit as well as risk sharing. अभी क्या होता है? See, think from this perspective. Sole proprietor था जो, sole proprietor shop खोल के बैठा है. There is a sole proprietor who has opened a shop or a trading setup, small shop, right? पूरा risk उनका है. They are taking the entire risk, 100% risk. They are taking because 100% profit भी वो ले रहे हैं. Now, if you have to reduce your risk, you say कि यार नहीं, I want to do this business, but I don't want so much risk. I do not want to handle so much risk. What will you do? What will you do? You will also share your risk, right? You will start sharing your risk as well, right? Profit 100% है तो भैया risk भी 100%. अभी I want to take only 50% risk, so I will also have to give 50% profit to someone else, and then partnership comes into picture. That is where partnership comes into picture, wherein you divide your profit. If you want less risk, you have to give out some profit as well, right? And तब partnership काम आती है that you divide your profit to get less risk, right? So profit as well as risk sharing. It can be formed for any form of economic activity, right? It can be done for any form of economic activity. Business करना है, profession करना है, right? Even so, employment में क्या होता है? Employment में also someone is doing business, right? तभी तो वो employment दे रहे हैं. So it can either be done in business, and even professionals do partnership. ये तो हमको पता ही है. There are CA firms who are, a lot of them are into partnership. CA firms, law firms, architecture firms, right? All of these are basically doing business. They're doing their profession, and this setup is partnership, right? वो partners होते हैं वहाँ पे, right? Unlimited liability of the partners. अगर धंधा flop हो गया, if the partnership business is not able to pay their loans, the entire money has to be paid by the partners. Partners को अपने घर से, अपना घर बेच के पैसा देना पड़ेगा. Unlimited liability of the partners. If let's say the business has a loan of 15 lakh rupees and partnership business के पास बैंक में 0 rupees है, तो ये 15 lakh rupees, the partners will have to sell off their own assets. या तो घर बेचो, गाड़ी बेचो, गहने बेचो, whatever you do. Bank will say, boss, give me my money back, right? Unlimited liability of the partners. They have to sell off their personal assets as well to pay off the loans, the debt, right? Slow decision making due to mutual agency. थोड़ी decision making slow हो जाती है, because जैसे HUF में तो कर्ता बना दिया कि भाई कर्ता will take decisions. पार्टनरशिप में फाइनल डिसीजन किसका होगा, दैट डिपेंड्स. इट्स अ पार्टनरशिप, सबकी सुननी पड़ेगी, एंड यू विल हैव टू डू थिंग्स एज पर एवरीवन्स चॉइस एंड प्रेफरेंस, राइट? सो लेट्स से वी 3-4 पीपल आर पार्टनर्स. ऐसे नहीं यार गुड़गांव में ऑफिस खोलते हैं, दूसरे नहीं मुंबई में ऑफिस खोलते हैं, समझ नहीं चेन्नई में खोलते, समझ नहीं बैंगलोर में खोलते. अभी हाउ डू वी सिट डाउन एंड डिसाइड आई विल कन्विंस ऑल ऑफ यू, यू विल कन्विंस 3 other people, they will start convincing. मैं 2 को कन्विंस कर लूंगा, 1 रह जाएगा, he or she will be able to convince someone else and टीम बन जाएगी. 2 people will say चलो मुंबई खोलते हैं, 2 people say नहीं चलो बैंगलोर खोलते हैं. स्लो डिसीजन, राइट? इट इज स्लो डिसीजन मेकिंग ड्यू टू म्यूचुअल एजेंसी. बहुत सारे लोगों को पूछना पड़ता है, पार्टनर्स में आपस में ट्यूनिंग बिठानी पड़ती है, राइट? सो इट लीड्स टू थोड़ा सा स्लो डिसीजन. Fate of the business depends on personal well-being of the partners and their common interest. Personal well-being of the partners पे business depend करना शुरू कर देता है, right? So let's say we are 3 partners. One partner has some family problem or undergoes a lot of family stress, right? उनको कोई medical issue आ जाता है, someone in their family is facing a medical issue. He or she is not able to contribute so much into the business. And let's say they were expert in taxation. 3 of us start a business. I am good in audit. You are good in taxation. Someone else is good in let's say transaction advice, right? M&A, mergers and acquisitions में है. The partner who is good in mergers and acquisition faces problem in their family. कुछ medical issue आ गया. Let's say and they go on a leave for 3 months. अपना तो बिजनेस खतरे में आ जाएगा, राइट? आई डोंट नो M&A, आई एम गुड एट टैक्स, यू डोंट नो M&A, you're good at audit. हमारा business, the fate of the business depends on personal well-being of the partners, right? It becomes difficult for the business to sustain if the personal well-being of the partners is an issue, right? That is one drawback of partnership. Succession is not easy. किसके बच्चे को partnership दें, right? I have 2 kids, you have 3 kids, the third partner has 4 kids. अभी किसको partnership? How do we divide that partnership? It becomes problem. It is not easy. हो जाता है. It is possible. It happens. Everywhere it happens, but it is not easy. थोड़ा सा difficult होता है to give the business to your children or to someone else. बच्चों को नहीं देना, किसी और को भी देना, तो किसको देना, right? That is difficult decision to take, right? Cool. Partnerships cannot be made for charitable purposes. Why not? Probably I think you can make partnership for care, right? Sole proprietor, but according to Companies Act, maximum number of partners is 50. Companies Act 2013, but there are rules as well. See, अभी partnership के अंदर also there are different things. What will happen is banking company है, right? If it's a banking partnership बना रहे हो, किसी charitable के लिए बना रहे हो, there are different laws, different rules, right? Absolutely. I think Misha watches a lot of Big Boss, right? She's given a Big Boss example. Like, I know, Misha. I've also seen a few episodes, and I'm guilty of that. What if the partner ditches the other partner and runs away with all the capital? What do the other partner do then? Nothing. They cry for choosing the wrong partner. What else? They'll do a case or something. They'll go for a legal battle. What else you can do, right? You should have found a good partner. You should have done a due diligence of your partner, right? Absolutely. So that's a great thing. I think you have studied this, so you know this thing, right? Well, that's something. Form 16 employee का तो वो तो tax में आता है, right? That is something that you have when you file your taxes. You have to fill that form. You get that form, right? In partnership, is there a nominee? There can be. See, when you make a contract, okay? So partnership is a contractual agreement. अभी ये contractual agreement है, it is a contractual agreement, तो भैया यहाँ पे nominee भी हो सकता है. यहाँ पे आप जो चाहे इस contract में डालो, right? It's a contract between 2 or more people. Depends on you what you want to put on contract. आप contract में सब कुछ डाल सकते हो. Profit sharing डालो, cost sharing डालो, business डालो, क्या करते हो, क्या करोगे, which person will do what, which partner will manage what, सब mention करो. The more things you mention, the better it becomes for you. अगर कुछ गड़बड़ होती है आगे जाके in business, the easier it is to fight a legal battle if you have well defined everything in the contract, right? And a lot of people do not make a contract, right? वो partnership करते दोस्तों के साथ कर लेंगे, अरे let's start business, आ जाओ महेश, हम दोनों मिलके काम करेंगे, बहुत बड़ा business बनाएंगे, हर्षद मेहता बन जाएंगे, and then they get into legal trouble, and then that is what you were asking. What if the partner runs away? पकड़ते रहो फिर, right? Cool. Can outside person work in HUF as an employee? Absolutely yes. Dhara, if you understand what we're studying, right? We are studying forms of business. Forms of business means एक business, this is just how a business functions. अभी business में there are employees. अभी let's say we just got to know that Haldiram's is an HUF. Haldiram's में तो कितने employees हैं? 15-20 हजार लोग काम करते होंगे हल्दीराम में, right? So from factories to exporters to this and that and that and that, a lot of people, a lot of things would be happening in Haldiram's, and it's an HUF. So absolutely yes. In the absence of the act, then what is the maximum number of members? In the absence, see, as per company's miscellaneous rules, it's 100 is what I understand, right? Contractual agreement is partnership deed. Absolutely yes. We call it a partnership deed, right? Contractual agreement in partnership is called a partnership deed. See, again, I'm telling you, I am not going to do why I want to do this. Okay, you might see this as a problem. कि भाई ये तो हमें study material का एक word नहीं पढ़ा रहे, right? I will never do that. Because that is going to be lethal. That is going to be very dangerous for you, right? I'll tell you why. मैं सब कुछ spoon feed कर दूंगा. You will never study the study material. And really push you, you have to study the study material 2 से 3 बार, right? I'm just giving you an idea of the concept, hota kya hai, the basic view. This is what these sessions are. Ask your questions in these, right? These sessions, I think, if I had been a student, I would have asked a lot of questions, right? I would have studied and I would ask a lot of questions instead of understanding the concepts, right? I am here to tell you the concept. Idea lag jaye, अच्छा ये पढ़ना है, अच्छा ये होता है, अच्छा I'll go and study the study material. अच्छा this is what he was telling. इसकी in detail ये होता है. अच्छा so he was telling me contractual agreement. अच्छा contractual agreements, partnership deed, it is on paper, it is registered. अच्छा that is what I study in the study material. If I start teaching you study material, boss, then what will you do, right? And I'm pretty sure you might count me on this कि यार पढ़ा नहीं रहे हैं, ये तो पूरा नहीं पढ़ा रहे. It is going to help you only. I'm pretty sure on that. I'm pretty confident on that, right? Cool. Point number 2, capital infusion by the partners. So a lot of people are going, so members or the partners in a partnership are going to infuse money into your partnership, right? Capital infusion is that partners are going to put money into the business for functioning of the business, right? Acha, there is a big problem in partnership. What we are saying, ये बहुत बड़ी problem. The biggest problem in partnership is 2-3 चीजों की, right? एक है अनलिमिटेड लायबिलिटी, एक है फेट ऑफ द बिजनेस, एंड देन थर्ड इज सक्सेशन इज नॉट इजी. अब आई वांट टू डू अ बिजनेस व्हिच इज सस्टेनेबल, नथिंग. आई वांट टू डू अ बिजनेस जो कि 100 इयर्स तक चले, राइट? आई वांट टू डू अ बिजनेस जो कि 100 इयर्स तक चले, बट आई डू नॉट वांट टू फॉर्म अ कंपनी, राइट? मुझे कंपनी नहीं बनानी है. कंपनी हैज अ लॉट ऑफ झमेला. कंपनी में आई हैव टू क्रिएट बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स. कंपनी में मेरे को एमसीए, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट अफेयर्स के पास फाइलिंग करना पड़ेगा. आई विल हैव टू कीप लॉयर्स, आई विल हैव टू कीप चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स. आई हैव अ लॉट ऑफ कंप्लायंस रखनी पड़ेगी मुझे. जीएसटी करो, ये करो, वो करो. आई वांट टू स्टे इनटू पार्टनरशिप, बट अनलिमिटेड लायबिलिटी नहीं चाहिए. आई वांट कि मेरा, इवन इफ आई एम नॉट प्रेजेंट, राइट, इवन इफ आई एम नॉट प्रेजेंट, द बिजनेस कीप्स ऑन कंटिन्यू, राइट? कंटिन्यूटी ऑफ बिजनेस रहे. And I feel that succession is not easy. I want my business to continue for the next 100 years. How do I do that? I go and form a limited liability partnership. The solution to those problems of partnership are LLP, limited liability partnership, right? The problems of partnership are solved by limited liability partnership, when it requires a mandatory registration under LLP Act, right? डेजिग्नेटेड पार्टनर्स एंड सेपरेट लीगल एंटिटी. यहाँ पे डेजिग्नेटेड पार्टनर्स होते हैं, राइट? आप इस चीज के पार्टनर, यू आर द पार्टनर ऑफ ऑडिट, यू आर द पार्टनर ऑफ टैक्सेशन, यू आर द पार्टनर ऑफ इंटरनल ऑडिट, यू आर द पार्टनर ऑफ एमएनए, यू आर द पार्टनर ऑफ स्टार्टअप कंसल्टेंसी, यू आर द पार्टनर ऑफ दिस, यू आर द पार्टनर ऑफ रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग, यू आर द पार्टनर ऑफ क्रेडिट लोन्स, राइट? Designated partners. They are designated partners in LLP. It is a hybrid form of business. That means it has features of both a company and a proprietary firm. That means ये तो कंपनी की तरह काम करता है. It is like it's a partnership. It's a limited liability partnership, but it functions like a company, right? It functions like a company and it has autonomy like a proprietorship firm. Company जैसे CFO, CEO, divisions, people, procurement, marketing team, ये सब झमेला नहीं लेते, right? It is like a partnership, but functions like a proprietorship. It's a hybrid form of business, right? दोनों का mixture है, right? Perpetual succession, least risk of going concern. Perpetual succession, that means एक पार्टनर गया दूसरा पार्टनर है, एक पार्टनर गया दूसरा पार्टनर, ये नहीं है तो कोई और आ जाएगा, ये नहीं है तो पार्टनर्स, they keep getting more partners into LLP, right? They keep getting more partners into LLP and there is no upper limit on the number of partners there. LLP में कोई upper limit ही नहीं है. 40,000 partners, 50,000 partners, 1 lakh partners in LLP, रख लो. If you can manage that, rakh lo, right? There is no upper limit on the number of partners. So what happens is, think of this. It's like a very big form of business जहाँ पे people are entered into as partners. Partners का क्या मतलब हुआ? Partners का मतलब हुआ they are sharing risks and profits. अभी आप कहोगे यार वो तो employee हो गए. नहीं, they are partners. They are sharing risk and profit. वो पैसा लगा रहे धंधे में. They're putting capital. They're investing capital. They're partners. Remember that. They are partners who are investing money in the business and they're there to earn profits. Profit का share होता है उनके पास and they also take risk. अगर loss होगा धंधे में, if the business is going into loss, they are also going to take losses because they are partners. Employee नहीं है वो, partner है. And this is how the ownership of the business is. अभी let's say there is an LLP. Okay, understand this. LLP है एक, इसके अंदर I have let's say 7 partners. Okay, 4, 5, 6 and 7. I have 7 partners in this LLP. अब सब partner के नीचे I have 500 people working in the LLP. Right? ये पार्टनर 50 पीपल संभालते हैं, ये वाले पार्टनर 70 लोगों को मैनेज करते हैं, राइट? ये वाले पार्टनर 30 लोगों को मैनेज करते हैं, सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ. आइडियली तो एलएलपी में 500 लोग काम कर रहे हैं, बट देयर आर 7 पार्टनर्स हु आर द ओनर्स, हु आर द पार्टनर्स ऑफ द एलएलपी. प्रॉफिट शेयर इनको जाता है. अगर एलएलपी ने 100 करोड़ रुपए कमाए, इफ द एलएलपी अर्न्स 100 crores, this is divided into these 7 people. All the 500 people are getting salary. ये तो employees हैं, they have salaries. 100 crores के profit में से salaries का expense निकाल देंगे. Let's say they pay salaries of 50 crores to these 500 people, right? जो बचे 50 crores हैं, they will divide amongst themselves. That is their profit, right? This is how an LLP is. You shouldn't confuse कि अच्छा सारा काम तो partner करते तो employee क्या करता है. So these people are managing employees, right? These are managers. These are owners of the company. These are owners of the business, right? And that is how they're divided into partnership. We will together share profits and risk also. अब कल को business को loss हो गया. Now the business goes into 20 crores का loss. Employees को तो salary मिल जाएगी. 500 employees को तो salary मिल जाएगी. These partners will say, अच्छा ठीक है, पिछले 5 साल में हमने 50 crores profit भी तो कमाया था, right? ठीक है, 20 crores का लॉस है, इस बार we will divide this loss amongst ourselves. So we will invest more money, we will put more money. If the business needs more money, loss हो गया, we will pay that money in our shareholding, right? जितना भी हमारे पास शेयर है प्रॉफिट का, उसी शेयर में I'll also manage my risk and losses, right? Easy, right? MDH Masala is an example of 100-year of business. Tata is वैसे ही है. your big brands. आपका Reliance is also so old. Wipro is 75 years old. Infosys is so old, right? No, maximum partners in LLP are, there is no limit, sir. LLP का example EY, Ernst and Young, right? PwC, ये सब LLP है, right? All these big fours are LLPs. Can investors be partners? Absolutely, anyone can be partner. Right? Anyone who wants to share profits and also take risk of losses can be a partner. And if the other partners agree कि हाँ आ जाओ आप भी partner बन जाओ, then you are the partner. Anyone can be a partner. It's a business, boss. Why are you confusing? Business में तो कोई education नहीं चाहिए. There is no minimum qualification. There is no minimum anything that is required. This is form of business. ये business करने का एक तरीका है. It is just a form of business organization. ये एक business करने का बस एक तरीका है, right? We study business, employment profession. We are studying business के अंदर business करने के क्या क्या तरीके हैं. Sole proprietorship कर लो, where you are the owner, 100% profit आपका, 100% loss आपका, right? You go and do an HUF. If you are a Hindu, Sikh, Jain or Buddhist, by birth you can even get your company or your business registered as a Hindu undivided family, wherein the eldest person will take decisions, all others are co-owners of the business, and you have 1,000 employees in your business doing that. Aapka, if you have a business of, let's say, making lehengas, or let's say you are making sherwanis, right? And aapka 1,000 crore ka, you have a business of 1,000 crores, you're working as an HUF, all those family members, right? 7-8 family members are the co-owners, while the eldest member is the karta, और वो business चल रहा है, same partnership है, same ऐसे LLP है, right? Do not get confused कि यार ये LLP में employee क्या है ये. It's just a form of business. It's just a form of doing business, right? Cool. Can even firms together form an LLP? Absolutely. 3-4 companies एक साथ मिलकर become a partner, right? 3 more partnership firms can come together, become a one single partnership. Partnership के लिए तो legal entity चाहिए, right? So different partnership firms. This is what a chartered accountant does. This is how your brain should work. Excellent job there, right? Why do people come to a chartered accountant or a lawyer? कि भाई find out how can I twist this thing? How can I think out of the box, right? Partnership मतलब यही नहीं कि सिर्फ individuals. Now think about this. एक partnership has 3 members, other partnership has 4 members, they together form a third partnership with 7 members, right? Simple है, बना दी एक नई partnership बना दी, and 7 people are together. 7 people with their expertise are coming into this business. Wonderful thing if you can manage that, right? Absolutely. अभी गवर्नमेंट, इंडियन गवर्नमेंट इज डूइंग अ पार्टनरशिप विद बांग्लादेश गवर्नमेंट, वहां भी पार्टनरशिप हो रही है. यूएस गवर्नमेंट इज डूइंग अ पार्टनरशिप विद इंडियन गवर्नमेंट फॉर लेट्स से सेमीकंडक्टर इंडस्ट्री. पार्टनरशिप्स हो रही है वहां पे भी. इवन गवर्नमेंट्स आर डूइंग पार्टनरशिप्स, राइट? I think this makes things easy, right? The example: all partners act as agents of LLP, limited liability as separate legal entity. They have solved the problem of unlimited liability of partners. Abhi, if the LLP is in losses or is bankrupt, the banker or the police cannot come and ask the partners कि भाई लाओ पैसा लाओ. Right? They say no, we have limited liability. जितना हमारा शेयर है, how much share we have in the LLP, that is the maximum amount of money I'm going to pay for the losses, right? मैं अपने घर और I'm not going to sell my house, cars, my jewelry to repay the bankruptcy or repay the loans of the LLP. I will only contribute as a percentage share, right? मेरा जितना share है company में, I will only be asked to give that money, right? This is a limited liability. मैं घर से पैसा लाके नहीं दूंगा, right? This protects partners from the unlimited liability. But the big challenge is loads of compliances to follow, right? अब क्यों? So what happens? See, think from a government perspective. Government कहती ठीक है, you have a limited liability. आपके घर से पैसा नहीं लेंगे. The bank cannot come, the police cannot come, the CBI cannot come and ask you कि अपने घर बेच के हमारा पैसा दो, right? For that, you will have to comply to a lot of things under LLP Act. Submit your books of accounts, prepare your books of accounts, get your books of accounts audited, income tax file karo, do this, create like stock or this, keep a certain amount of money for this. Like there are a lot of compliances that an LLP has to do, right? Just like a company has to do a lot of compliances, LLP को भी बहुत सारे compliances करने पड़ते हैं, right? Because they are given this benefit that you have limited liability. And to Sarkar will say कि यार ऐसे तो a lot of people will defraud the bank and run away. So what we'll do is to keep a check on LLPs. Let us ask them for books of accounts, auditing of books of accounts, okay, bank statements for audit करेंगे, understand what, how and where they are keeping money. If they're making good money, that is there in the books, we'll get them loans. वो लोन ले सकते हैं बैंक से. अगर बुक्स में ही पैसा नहीं आ रहा है, पैसा ही नहीं है, फ्री का लोन थोड़ी ना दे. We're not going to give them free का लोन, right? So that is why you have to have a lot of compliances to enjoy limited liability, right? When anyone who has a limited liability, then they have to do a lot of compliances क्योंकि they are enjoying this limited liability. जैसे company also, अभी कंपनी कल को bankrupt हो जाती है, so कंपनी से इसकी शेयर होल्डर को अरे आपका शेयर का पैसा जीरो हो गया, right? And people are saying अरे क्या कर सकते हैं, हमने शेयर लिया ही इसलिए था because we knew it can become zero. Limited liability है कंपनी, right? And that is why it has to comply. SEBI उसके पीछे पड़ी रहेगी, government, MCA, CBI और these national company law tribunals are there. Companies Act बना दिया गया है पूरा, so that companies are controlled, right? Similarly, LLP Act बनाया गया so that LLPs are controlled because limited liability है. They do not defraud the investors, they do not defraud the bank and run away. इसलिए they have to comply to a lot of things as per the government, right? Simple logic. Right, Saurabh, that is how the law is, right? That's an age-old law. It's from the beginning of the country, right? Law है ये तो. LLP better than a normal partnership? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Cool. What is the full form of ROC? What is ROC? You tell me. Registrar of Companies, right? Limited liability of partners is equal to unlimited liability in fraud. Who says that, right? Go and find all those people who are doing the fraud. with the Indian tax money. Right? If one can form LLP, why do people form partnership? Because of this. A lot of compliance. Acha, now think about this. Your question is good. Yeah, जब LLP है, why are people even doing partnership? Unlimited liability क्यों ले रहे हैं? Okay, think about this. Now think about this carefully. There is person A, there is person B. Okay, person A के पास 2 लाख रुपीस हैं, person B के पास 1 लाख रुपये है. Okay, so these two friends A and B, they say चलो business करते हैं, let us do business in partnership. Okay, so B से ask A कि भाई तेरे पास कितना पैसा है? He says I have 2 lakh rupees. Then A asks तेरे पास कितना पैसा? He says 1 lakh rupee. All right, वो कहते चलो ठीक है, business करते हैं, partnership करते हैं. So then their friend, which is X, right? You are their friend. You are a chartered accountant, X, Mr. X. You come and tell them, अरे form an LLP. Form an LLP, बहुत सारे benefits हैं. You get limited liability. आपके सारे partners हैं. Hybrid form है. Perpetual succession है. No upper limit on number of members. Everything is fantastic. Form an LLP. Partnership क्यों बनाते हो? Right? Now this Mr. A will ask you, अच्छा. So LLP, sir, what is the expense of creating an LLP, and what is the kind of expense I will have to bear to like form an LLP, because it requires a lot of compliances. मैंने newspaper में पढ़ा है. I've read it somewhere that it requires a lot of compliances. So you say, अरे ज़्यादा खर्चा नहीं. You only have to pay like 20,000 in 1 year. You have to 20 to 25,000 का खर्चा है per साल का, because you will have to keep an accountant, you will have to keep a chartered accountant, you will have to keep certain people to take care of the compliances, books of accounts बनानी पड़ेंगी, audit करवाना पड़ेगा, ये सब की फीस लगती है. So 20-25,000 per annum आपका खर्चा आ जाएगा minimum. Now A and B will say, boss, 2 लाख रुपए का तो धंधा करना है, right? 3 लाख रुपए का धंधा है, जिसमें से my stock is for let's say 3 लाख रुपीस का तो stock ही आ जाएगा, and I don't know if my business is going to work or not, right? 3 लाख के बिजनेस में कितना मैं ग्रो कर लूंगा. And if I have to pay 20-30,000 per annum सिर्फ compliance में, तो क्या इतना खर्चा करने की जरूरत है? I don't want to spend so much money. I don't want to spend so much time in compliance. I will to go with partnership. I तो know B. B तो मेरा बचपन का दोस्त है. This is my childhood friend. I तो have full trust on B. नहीं होगा तो मिल के पैसा चुका देंगे, उसमें क्या, right? Now you understand why people go for partnership and not for LLP. It requires some cost. It requires some efforts, right? Plus, in an Indian setup, a lot of our relations are more like, नहीं, अपना बचपन का दोस्त है. I don't want to get into a legal setup with him. So the दोस्ती यारी में we'll do this work. In friendship only we'll do this business, right? That is why people go for partnership, right? And you know, in India, in a lot of places, like people are doing business of 3-5 lakhs only, 5-10 lakhs maximum, right? Small traders, small people who want to share profits and losses. So 5-7-10 lakh रुपए का ही is what the business is, average India, right? Not everyone is making Flipkart, right? Not everyone is making Amazon, or not everyone is making Bharat Pay or Boat, right? So that is why a lot of people go for partnership. Absolutely yes, Saurabh, they are not applicable there. Now people can shift from any form of business to any other form of business. आप LLP से company बन जाओ, company से partnership बन जाओ. You can do anything, right? You can switch between the forms of business. Okay, cool. The final one is company. Company तो हम सबको पता. Companies Act हमें तो पढ़ना ही है. This is what we have to study. Companies Act 2013, right? Company is a body corporate formed under Companies Act. It is the flag bearer of entrepreneurship in India, right? The act, the government now says, if you have a startup, get it registered as a company and you will get a lot of benefits, right? The government wants all the people to convert into company. The government wants all the businesses to convert into company. Think about from government perspective. Company का taxation भी ज़्यादा है, right? Company ka there is taxation is zyada, compliance is zyada. The government can control companies much better than a partnership or a sole proprietor or a Hindu undivided family, right? The government can control companies. Company, they want books of accounts. They have to get the books of accounts audited. right? They have to have minutes of meeting, AOA banana hai, then you have to create memorandum of association, articles of association, minutes of meetings banane hai. You have to get directors, have to get DSC, digital signatures of directors hone chahiye, DIN number, director identification number hona chahiye, SIN number hona chahiye, corporate identification number of a company, SIN number hona chahiye, GST number hona chahiye, PAN number alag hona chahiye, tax alag se bharna chahiye. There is a separate ITR form for companies. So they can control the companies in a much, much better form than a sole proprietor or a partnership or a Hindu undivided family. The government pushes, right? You form a company, we'll give you benefits, right? Company has limited liability. Company is a separate legal status, right? Company is different from the owners. Company is different from the owners, and that is why it is limited liability. Mr. Sham and Mr. Ram, right? They are directors. They are directors in a company called, let's say the company is called Popo, right? The company is called Popo Limited or Popo Private Limited. Popo Private Limited company बना दी इन्होंने. Popo Private Limited के बैंक में 50 lakh rupees है, right? And they have a loan of 70 lakh rupees. Their assets are for 50 lakhs. Their liabilities are for 70 lakhs. Their assets are for 50 lakhs. 70 lakhs की liabilities है. कंपनी की बैलेंस शीट ही मैच नहीं करती. बैंकरप्सी आ गई. Company has more liability than the asset. The bank says, boss, हमारे पास 70 lakh rupees दो, give me my 70 lakh back. So Popo Private Limited says, ठीक है, 50 lakhs is our asset, हमने सारे asset बेच दिए, this is your 50 lakhs. Then say बाकी 20 lakhs, कहते वो हमें नहीं पता. So bank goes and says, Mr. S, Mr. R, you are the directors. Help us, give our 20 lakhs. They say, boss, look at this. Separate legal status है company का. You gave loan to company, not to me. आपने Mr. S और Mr. R को loan नहीं दिया. Mr. Bank, you have given the loan to Popo Private Limited. I am just the director. मेरे को तो फीस मिलती है भाई. I'm a shareholder. I get a profit in that. The company तो Popo Private Limited. आप उससे जाके लो. This is then boss, who will pay this? पहले हमको क्या पता? Limited liability. SNR or not, घर बेच के मैं आपको पैसा नहीं दूंगा. You are given loan to Popo Private Limited, not to SNR. Be careful, right? This is a benefit of company. This is a benefit of company, right? Separation of ownership from management, right? Separation of ownership from management. This is what I'm saying. S and R are the directors. They are the owners. इसमें काम कौन कर रहा है? इन्होंने क्या रखा? मिस्टर एक्स को रख लिया. मिस्टर एक्स इज द CEO of Popo Private Limited, right? Mr. X is the CEO. Mr. Y is the CFO, right? इन लोगों ने इन people को hire कर लिया. They have kept employees. These are high-level employees in the company who are managing. So ownership is different from management. Ownership is different from management. Mr. S and Mr. R are owners. They are different from the management. मैनेजमेंट तो कोई और कर रहा है. CEO CFO देखते हैं, हम तो बस प्रॉफिट्स कमाते हैं. हम जाके उनसे पूछ लेते हैं, सुपरवाइजर्स, काम ठीक से करो, यू आर डूइंग द राइट जॉब, यू शुड डू दिस, यू शुड डू दैट. एंड CEO CFO are reporting to the owners, right? Now I'll just clean this ताकि it becomes strong legal compliance. That is what I was talking about. Articles of association, memorandum of association, meeting details, annual filing with ROC, right? You have to do all of this. A company has to do all of this. Getting books of accounts audited by professional increases credibility, right? And that is why these are the benefits of company. That is why the government also wants you. As a government, earlier you remember 30% tax hota tha companies pe, then it became 25%, now it is 24%, right? Your government also keeps reducing the tax percentage on companies so that more people come and do a business, more people form business into company form of business. उसको control करना आसान. Sarkar can have a lot of control over businesses if the businesses are into company form of business, right? Cool. In business also, there separation of ownership from management. Not necessarily, because sole proprietorship में तो है ही नहीं, Hindu undivided family में भी है ही नहीं, right? Partnership में भी है ही नहीं. ये company is something where you have separation of ownership from management. Right? Now think about this. Ratan Tata is the owner, right? Ratan Tata is the owner, right? The Tata Sons is the owner of this Tata group. Ratan Tata does not work in TCS. He does not work in Tata Steel. He does not work in Tata Steel Cement. He does not work in Tata Tea, Tata Consumer. He's the owner who has kept people who manage the companies, right? Like similarly, Azim Premji has got so many businesses, right? Wipro hai, Wipro Enterprises hai, Wipro Investments hai. He's investing his personal money. He's doing startups. He's investing in startups. He's the owner. Management is done by a lot of other people, right? That is what it says. Separation of ownership from management. It can only happen in company. That is a feature of company form of business, right? Okay. Some interesting new concepts in the company form of business. Abhi, what I was saying, the government wants and pushes people to form a company, right? Government बोलती कि यार company खोलो, company खोलने में ही मजा है. I want all of you to open business so that I can control more, right? And it also says banks. See, think about this. सरकार ने क्या किया? The government has told if it is a company, if you have a company form of business now, you're getting a loan from the bank for your business is 5 times easier. If you have a partnership, if you have a sole proprietorship, right? If you have a Hindu undivided family versus you have an LLP or a company, you go to a bank. You go to a bank and ask for a loan for your business. Getting a loan as a company or an LLP is 5 to 10 times easier than getting a loan for your sole proprietorship or partnership. Kyun? Because the bank says, boss, you have audited books of accounts, up plus management hai, you have people working in the company, right? It's a well organized structure of business. Structure hai ek business hai. It is easy. It is going, your business is good. I can understand your business much better as a bank. If I'm giving you money, let's say I'm giving you 10 lakh rupees for your business. Acha, I see your last 5 years of books of accounts or last 2 years of books of accounts or your projected financial statements, which are audited, which are credibility is checked by chartered accountants or auditors or let's say like big firms. I have confidence कि अच्छा ठीक है, if I'm giving you 10 lakhs in the next 3-5 years, आप मुझे 10 लाख रुपए वापस कर दोगे with interest. I have a faith looking at the financials, looking at what you are presenting, right? That is why it becomes easier. And that is why government always pushes ki yaar, go for a company, go for an LLP. Do not go for sole proprietorship. Okay? It is difficult to control. And that is why they've given such benefits. Limited liability de do, right? Easier loans de do, right? So it becomes easier. Now, one-person company, some interesting concepts. One-person company concept nikal diya sarkar ne. The government said, you can also form one-person company. It's like a sole proprietor. Usko company mein convert karne. A sole proprietor, small shopkeeper, small this. They said, boss, zaruri nahi hai, aap owner bano, director bano. I don't want you to go into that jhamela that you create a company, you get into sin, din, win. Ye sab mat lo, koi baat nahi. I know you're a small businessman. I know you're a small business person. Just go and form a one-person company, right? Simple है. आपको filing करनी है साल में एक बार. You do not have to create books of accounts. You do not have to create this and that. But you will be registered under the Companies Act as a one-person company. To convert sole proprietors into company, they started this concept. Second is small company. Now, businesses which are a little bigger than sole proprietors, right? जैसे कोई manufacturing unit है, which has let's say 10-20 crores का turnover है, or the capital is let's say 1 crore or 2 crores of capital in the business, right? Based on capital amount introduced or the turnover, there are different criteria. They said, register yourself as a small company and you will get many benefits, like you will get subsidy in consumption of electricity for your business, loan ka interest percentage kam ho jayega, right? You will get more benefits, you will get easy loans without collateral, bina kuch girvi rakhe, without any collateral, we will give you 5 lakh rupees as loan, like MSME mudra loans, right? Government says only if you are registered as a company, be it one-person company or small company. So budget mein what government says, we are going to give 500 lakh crores as loan or support to small businesses due to COVID. Abhi wo sole proprietor partnership mein nahi de. What they say is, if you want to take benefit of this the feature or this thing that we are introducing in the budget, we will give 5 lakh rupees of help, free loan, koi interest nahi hai, 5 lakh rupees of loan to every business in the country. They make it mandatory that only the companies who are registered as a company will get this benefit, right? So that Sarkar can control it, right? This is how government functions, right? Another beautiful concept is called dormant company. बड़ा ही मजे का concept है. What it says is, when you have a newer innovative form of company structure, जहाँ पे you create this for a future project or to hold an intellectual property till the time actual functioning begins, right? So what happens? Let's say आपने एक नई technology बना, right? You have created some new technology, you have done some innovation, but उस innovation को business बनाने में it will take you 3 years, right? आपने कुछ innovate तो कर लिया, but now to create a business around it, कि इसको बेचेंगे किसको, कैसे बेचेंगे, where will I do, how will I convert this into a product? That will take next, let's say 2-3 years for you. So what they say, आप उसको dormant company बना के put this asset, put this technology into that business, let's say into their asset side in the balance sheet, right? Asset side में तो होता है ना आपका. What do we have, right? What are these assets called? Intellectual property को कौन सा asset बोलते हैं, right? Tell me, what are intellectual properties like basically your patents or trademarks? What kinds of asset are these? 1% company and entrepreneurship is the same thing. Entrepreneurship is doing business is called entrepreneurship. 1% company is just a form of business, right? What kind of assets are these? जैसे आपका patent, trademark, technology, software. What are these assets called? What are these assets called? Tell me very quickly. Tell me, what are these assets called? Very quickly. Intangible assets. Absolutely. So whenever a company has an intangible asset which is yet to be created into a product, Sarkar says, boss, go and create a dormant company. A dormant company bana lo and put this as an intellectual asset, as your intangible asset in your business. Right? That is what a dormant company is. To create it for a future project or to hold an intellectual property till the time actual functioning begins, right? क्यों ऐसा क्यों करूं मैं, क्यों करूं? To save yourself, right? To save yourself from copying. कंपनी के पास बहुत ज्यादा लीगल पावर है. A company has a lot of legal power. It can go to court. It is separate from you. It's a separate legal entity. Limited liability है. You get so much legal control over your intangible asset, right? Intangible asset को control करना बहुत आसान हो जाता है if you put that into a company. But अभी business तो हुआ नहीं है. So they say no worries. You start a company, you create a dormant company, put this intellectual asset into your balance sheet, into your company, register it under your company, and then you build a business and then take it and then buy from this company into your main company, right? This is what chartered accountants help you do. This is what your consultancy is. Practicing chartered accountants, you would have seen big chartered accountants sitting in flashy Mumbai, flashy Gurgaon offices on the 20th, 30th floor, right? Practicing as a chartered accountant. These are the kinds of work they are doing, right? These are the kind of things they are thinking. This is how they're being creative in the compliance area. Boss, dormant company bana lo. It has more control. Once you start your business, your new company will buy this intellectual property from your dormant company, right? This is how the transaction will look like. This is how the books of account will be look like. This is how iski taxation hogi, right? All this is your chartered accountancy work, right? So this is why you should understand these basics. Abhi, this is how you will get to know new things, and this is how things happen in real world, right? Yahi se to paisa banta hai, right? Cool. The last thing we have to study is very simple. Company we have studied, I told you company के दो types होते हैं, private company और public company, right? Private company and public company. Private company क्या है? Private company which is not public. Public company क्या है which is not private? Okay. I'll give you classic example. Instagram. You guys use Instagram, right? Instagram में there are two kinds of accounts. आप अपने account को private रख सकते हो, or you can also keep your account public. What does that mean? इंस्टाग्राम में भी तो ऐसे ही होता है. Either you keep your account private or you keep your account public. If you keep your account private, only you decide कौन आपको follow करेगा, who will, you have control. It is your private place. You decide कौन मेरे friends, I will follow them, they will follow me, I will do this. मैं ये post करूंगा तो यही लोग like करेंगे, this करेंगे, इन्हीं को story दिखेगी, इन्हीं को that होगा, इन्हीं के साथ वो होगा, right? All of these things happen only when it is a private company, right? Public company क्या होती है? Public account क्या होता है? Right? What is public account? Public account is anyone can come and follow you. आपको कुछ नहीं पता, आप सिर्फ डालते जा रहे हैं. And people can come and look into your account and see, अच्छा आप ये करते हो, अच्छा आपका business ये है, अच्छा this is what you're doing, अच्छा दिखाओ अपनी balance sheet, show me your balance sheet, I want to see your P&L. So you will have to put that on your website. You have to put that on NCA website because it's a public company, right? इसमें public का पैसा लगा, right? Now thinking from a business perspective, private company में the money, right, the investment is done by a few people जिनका वो private company है. A public company is where the investment is done by a lot of people, right? Public से पैसा लिया हुआ, right? From the general public, when you take money, that is a public company. Minimum number of members in private companies 2, public company में minimum number of members are 7, maximum 200, public में कोई limit नहीं. There are restrictions on transfer of shares, right? Restriction on transfer of shares matlab, so like let's say 3-4 people have invested in a business and it's a private company. I cannot go and sell my shares to किसी को भी, अच्छा भाई रास्ते से आप आओ या आपको मैं अपने shares बेच रहा हूँ, आपको बेच देता हूँ, नहीं ऐसा नहीं होता. It's a private company. You cannot sell your shares. Private company के shares cannot be sold, right? There are restrictions. You have to check a lot of things before transferring. It is not easy. But shares of public company which are on the stock exchange, right? अगर आपके shares stock exchange पे है तो वो तो कोई भी खरीद बेच सकता है, right? You guys know, Grow download कर लो, Upstock, Zerodha, what is this? They have all the public limited companies. They have all the listed companies, right? Public companies which are listed on the stock exchange, right? IPO आता है, general public से पैसा ले रहे हैं, right? General public से पैसा ले रहे हैं, IPO आता है, right? Initial public offering in the share market, right? That is what a public company is. Minimum number of directors 2, minimum number of directors in public is 3, right? So private companies are exempted from constituting like board of directors, जैसे audit committee, CSR committee, stakeholder committee, nomination, remuneration committee. So all these committees private company को नहीं बना, because it's your private business. आपका private account है, Instagram says आपका private account है, do whatever you want to do in that. The moment it becomes a public account, you cannot put religious content, you cannot put nudity on Instagram, you cannot put opinions, you cannot put like defamation of anyone on your public account in Instagram. Restrictions are there, right? Similarly, public company has to have some committees to control कि CSR committee होगी, stakeholder committee होगी, remuneration committee होगी. There are a lot of committees which are created to control so that public का पैसा लगा हुआ. Public company में the money is invested by general public. The government says general public का पैसा है, you cannot play with that money, right? So they have to comply to a lot of things from the government. Committees बनाओ, check रखो, right? कुछ गलत तो नहीं हो रहा, fraud तो नहीं हो रहा है, remuneration हो रहा है, employees are in the right way, business is being done in the right way, right? Keep all those checks because general public का पैसा लगा हुआ. It's a public company, right? That is the difference between a public and a private company. Cool. Sure, dormant company, very quickly, I think you are not in this. Dormant company क्या है? एक company खोल दो just to, if you have a future project. आज से 3 साल बाद मुझे कुछ काम करना है, but I have an idea or I have a technology, I have done some innovation and I want to start my business after let's say 2-3 years. मेरे को उसको develop करने में time लग जाएगा. So what company says, what the government says, okay, create a dormant company so that you can safeguard your technology from your competition. Company के पास safe पड़ा रहेगा, right? It is registered under the company, it will be safe वहाँ पे, right? So you can create a dormant company. जरूरी नहीं है उसमें कुछ काम हो रहा हो. Dormant है. What does dormant mean? Dormant means जहाँ पे कोई काम नहीं होता, right? It's a dormant account. It's a dormant company. It is a dormant thing. That means अब let's say आपके घर में there is a store room. It's a dormant place. That means वहाँ पे कुछ activity नहीं होती है. It's a dormant place. कोई आता जाता नहीं हो, खाली पड़ा रहता है वो कमरा. that is a dormant place, right? That's a dormant company, right? Absolutely. That is right, Nal. That is right. Cool. Any person becomes a shareholder in the public company if you buy the shares. Yes. Public company में अगर आप shares खरीद लोगे, you are the shareholder of the company. Simple है, right? Okay. Very quickly, this question on the screen, and then it's 12:30. We will quickly start with chapter 2 also. फटाफट कर लेंगे. Chapter 2 का introduction तो बहुत ही आसान. Right. Very quickly answer this. How to remember till exams? Keep revising, sir. What else? We'll have to keep revising this. B, 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 C, B, C, A. Okay, what else? Quickly. Very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. Answer this. Cool. I see majority of you are saying B, and that is the right answer. As public traded companies have huge cost of compliance. Bhaiya, committee banao, books of accounts, a lot of things that are happening around the public companies, right? So बहुत सारी public companies are going back to private companies. They're saying नहीं, public companies में तो इतना ज़्यादा खर्चा is there for compliance. Let us do our business as a private company, right? Let us do our business as a private company only is what a lot of public companies are now thinking to do, right? Cool. Very quickly, let us फटाफट से summarize chapter 1 and start with chapter 2. What is business and commercial knowledge? हमको समझ आया कि business क्या है, what is a trade flow क्या होता है, from a producer to a wholesaler to a trader to a consumer. How is it relevant to all people from all streams? Science के लिए जरूरी है, commerce के लिए जरूरी है. Everyone needs business and commercial knowledge. Importance for chartered accountants. We studied it's like the basic thing, vast, eclectic, and ever changing. Similarly, that is why it is needed to be studied by chartered accountants. Human activities को दो parts में बांटा, economic and non-economic. Economic को then 3 parts में बांटा, business, profession and employment, right? Business and commercial knowledge है, so business को भी understood in depth, right? First level पे commerce होता है, then group of related businesses or industry, and it has to be a regular thing. It is not a one-time transaction. It has to be a regular thing to be called as a business. Finally, we talked about forms of business organizations, right? जहाँ पे we also have to focus on commercial knowledge into regular updates. That means, final thing is, this is ever changing, right? सब कुछ change होता रहता है business में. So you have to be very careful about reading new things that are happening around you, apart from syllabus, right? Understanding businesses, क्या form change हो रहे हैं, startups कैसे आ रहे हैं, what is this business doing, right? That also becomes really important for us, right? Cool. With that, we would complete chapter 1 and straightforward go to आपका chapter number 2, which is business environment. We'll just take 1 minute of break. कहीं जाएंगे नहीं, यहीं पे रहेंगे, right? Till my PPT also refreshes. You guys can also get some, like, drink some water, get something to eat, or probably do something. And then we will quickly start with आपका chapter 2, which is business environment. All right. We'll just take 1 minute of quick break, drink water or stretch, whatever you want to do. Right. Till then, I'll take up some questions if anyone has any. Sure, Dhara, what we'll do is chapter 2 के बाद या 3 के बाद, what I've planned is chapter 3 के बाद ना, I will have a quiz. I will take a quiz of chapter 1, 2 and 3. उस quiz के बाद I'll keep 15 minutes for study material questions, right? Otherwise, what will happen is merely study material jana, coming back, it's a bit technical problem for me. So after that quiz, I'll keep a very tough quiz, chapter 1 to 3 ka, after chapter 3. And उसमें we'll also discuss आपका study material के questions, right? I hope that works. Cool. Can we start with chapter 2, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Characteristics and objectives of business कर तो लिए, right? Bala, Sanjana, we have done that, right? Sanjana, we have done that. What is missing? Tell me. Objectives and characteristics of businesses we have discussed, right? But that is what I'm saying. If you want me to go each and every sentence of the study material, I won't do that, right? I won't do that. That is something you as the student who has to give examination has to thoroughly study your study material. I have done all the points in the PPT. If you go and look at chapter 1 ka PPT, which I'll upload after this class, I've covered all the points, right? If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. If you have any doubts, if you need any clarification, happy to answer. But honestly, I will not go line by line, right? That is even not possible in 2 hours per sessions. Leave apart if that is the right thing to do or not, but that is not even possible in 2 hours per sessions, right? And it will lead to a lot of rote learning. That is not what we want to do. I really want you to understand the concept and study on your own, right? Nothing beats self-study. Questions in the study material, enough for preparation. There are question banks also, right? There are more questions that are uploaded on the website. Go through those questions, right? No, Shashank. Hindu undivided family only has Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist, Jain families, right? Cool. School is economic or non-economic? It's an economic if it's for profit, right? Schools are for profit. Sure, Varsha. We'll take that up if we have time after the session. I want to start with chapter 2, right? Repeating partnership will be thoda sa challenging. If we have time after the session, we'll do that, right? Okay. Let us quickly, without wasting any further time, let us get into chapter number 2, right? Which is chapter number 2 is basically understanding the business environment. Okay. So business we understood. This syllabus is talking about BCK, right? BCK के बारे में बात कर रहा है this syllabus, wherein B stands for business, right? Commercial knowledge is part of it. Commercial knowledge, chapter 1 we understood the introduction of commercial knowledge, but the focus is on understanding business as an economic activity. The entire syllabus revolves around understanding business as an economic activity. And for any business, the business environment is of utmost importance. मेरे आसपास क्या हो रहा है? From a business perspective, whatever is happening around me is my business environment. Whatever is happening within my business is my business environment. Whatever happens with me is due to my business environment. जो कुछ बाहर हो रहा है, जो कुछ मेरे अंदर हो रहा है, सब कुछ is business environment, right? We'll understand that in detail. What is business environment? We'll understand what are its components, right? What are its components? We'll understand how to analyze these components. यहाँ पे हम पढ़ेंगे macro and micro, right? Micro पढ़ेंगे, macro पढ़ेंगे, and we'll do each of these concepts in detail. Micro के components, macro के components, in detail we'll understand what are these, and we'll also understand analyze तो कर लिया. I identified what are the components. I analyzed. Now, what do I do after analysis? What are the actions I should take? How do I strategically respond to the business environment is also what we are going to study in this chapter. Okay. What is business environment? what are its components in detail, how to analyze each of these components. After analysis, how do I strategically respond to these components is also very, very important, right? Cool. Okay, Sanjana. So question is gestation and uncertainty I've done. Gestation is period from starting till something becomes mature. It is called gestation, right? And uncertainty is simple English. So uncertainty means risk. It is risky, right? It is uncertain. Cool. So business environment. Let us first understand what is business environment. Okay. Now think about this. पहले horse के टोंगास होते थे. Now we have aeroplanes, right? Earlier there were physical banks. अभी भी हैं, but a lot of us are doing e-banking. From mobile phones we are doing all our banking operations. बैंक में पैसा भेजना है, payment करनी है, check का concept खत्म हो गया. You would have seen even your parents do not use checkbook अब. Online जाके they transfer this money. Earlier there used to be checkbook. Check में लिखो. अभी भी होती है, but people, it's not that widely used now. It is slowly changing, right? What happened? Why these things went out of business, or why these things are no longer there, right? It is because of the change. It is because of the change, right? The business environment in terms of technology and customer needs, it changed. And change is the only constant, right? Every day, each and every day, every single day, something or the other in the business will change. Each and every day, something or the other in the business will keep changing. Either the technology will change, or the customer preference will change, or the customer itself will change. And when things are changing around you, you have to change your business as well. You have to change how your business operates, what your business should do, that your strategy should also change with all these changes, right? That is what the idea is. That is what we are going to study about business environment, right? It is not the strongest and the most intelligent who survive, but the ones who react swiftly to changes, those are the ones who survive, right? You can be the strongest, you can be the most intelligent person on earth, but if you're not changing with the changing times, you will not survive. So those who change, react swiftly to the changes, who react very quickly to the changes, only they survive the change in the environment. Same goes for the business, right? So business who is changing with time will survive. अगर business कहेगा नहीं technology change हो रही है, I don't care if the technology is changing, I don't care if whatever is changing, I will do my business in the same way. I will keep doing my business in the same way like I was doing, like let's say 5 years back or 7 years back. I will not change the way I'm doing my business, right? Then it becomes a challenge. Then that business is not going to survive for much long. That is also pakka, right? So think about this, okay? What is business environment? Simple sa graph hai on your screen to understand, right? To understand what is business, okay? And business ka environment. This green ball is your business, okay? So this green ball is your business. All the things around the business which affect the business and which are beyond the control of business are called external environment, okay? Now think about this. Government hai, suppliers hai, creditors hai, banks hai, customers, bankers, competitors. All of these are outside the business. All of these are outside the business, right? I as a business do not control the government. I do not control my suppliers. I do not control my creditors. I do not control my customers. I do not control my bankers. I do not control my competitors. But I only understand what they're doing and I change my business strategy according to them. Government could change kar diya, I have to change my business strategy because of that. Supplier changes, I have to change my business strategy because of that. Creditors change, bank says 6% you will have to 7% on interest on the loan. I will have to decide, I will have to strategize ki how do I pay that 1% extra. Customer changes, I will have to change my strategy because of the customer. My competitor brings something new in the business, I will have to change my strategy to meet what my competitor is doing, right? Online class to offline class to online class. That is what business environment change ho gaya. So your business strategy also changes, right? all of these things which are outside the business and the business cannot control, we call it external environment, right? Everything is business environment. Business के अंदर भी business environment है, but everything outside is called external environment, right? Which is beyond the control of the business, like government, suppliers, creditors, customers, bankers, right? All of these are external environment which are beyond the control of business, right? Okay. Very quickly, answer this question on the screen and the chapter is solved for you. ये आपने answer कर दिया, you will understand कि what are we going to study in the chapter, right? If you can solve this question, you 100% know what we are going to study in this chapter. Okay? Answer this question very, very quickly. Super duper quickly answer this. Very quickly answer this. Cool. I don't see many answers. I want all of you to answer, please. Right? C, 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 D, 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 C, C. A lot of you are saying C, a lot of you are saying D. Let us see what is the right answer. Okay, cool. The correct answer is identify, analyze, respond, and revise. You identify what is happening in the environment, you analyze it, you respond to it, and then you revise. कि अच्छा काम किया या नहीं किया, whether it worked or not, whether it was the right thing to do or not, you revise it finally, right? You identify your business environment, the components of it, you analyze the business environment components, you respond to those things that are happening in your business environment, and then you revise. You understand what went wrong, what went right, and you revise your strategy based on that. Cool? So this is the entire thing what the chapter is going to tell you. What is how to identify a business environment, how to analyze the business environment, how to respond to a business environment, and how can you revise, when and how will you revise the business environment. Your strategy for the business environment is what we are going to study, right? Cool. I think majority of you had given the right answer. Cool. Okay. Now there are few characteristics of your business environment, right? What are we going to study is characteristics of business environment. Business environment ka kuch characteristics. How does it look? What is it, right? First is it is complex. Number one is your business environment is very complex because it has multiple factors and each factor has its own importance, right? Like mobile phones and laptops sent music players and notebooks out of business. Abhi, it is so complex. You have macro and micro. Micro has 10 components. Macro has XYZ, like 11, 12 components, right? Then you have internal business environment, external business environment. External में micro है, macro है, internal में organizational है, corporate है. So a lot of components. It is just not 2-3 components नहीं होते हैं. Your business environment has around 20-25 components in your business environment. It is very complex, very difficult to understand. Number 2, it is dynamic. अच्छा 25-26 component है, it has 25-26 components and each of those keeps changing. अभी तो हम सोचे थे 2-3 component है and now it is 25-26 components and they are also always changing. They are ever changing. हर रोज ही कुछ ना कुछ change हो जाता है. They're ever changing, unstoppable, inevitable and frequent. Very frequently, हर 2 महीने, 3 महीने, 1 महीने, 1 साल, 6 महीने. It keeps on changing. All these components, which it's a complex, multiple factors. All these factors and components are ever changing. They keep changing. Number 2, it is dynamic. Number 3, it is multifaceted. It is multifaceted. That means though it has different faces. Like we said, एक सिक्के के दो पहलू, right? You have heads and tails. In a coin, you have heads and tails. Similarly, business environment is multifaceted. आगे और पीछे, it has white and gray, it has good and bad. It is multifaceted, means it has good part also, it has bad part also. Now, a change in the business environment can be an opportunity for one and it can be threat to other. Opportunity for one and threat to another, right? Now, when Ola and Uber came, now think about this. जब Ola आया, जब Uber आए, right? So they created immense opportunity for new people to start earning by driving taxis. But जो पुराना अपने yellow, black and yellow old taxi, that went out of business. उसके लिए that became a threat. So business environment is an opportunity for one, is a threat for someone else, right? किसी के लिए opportunity is always a threat to someone else. An opportunity for someone's business is always a threat to someone else's business. That is why it is multifaceted, right? Number 4, it has far-reaching impact. That means it does not care about size. It does not care about size. Does not care about size of the business. Tata के लिए भी business environment change होता है. Even for the smallest shopkeeper in your household, in your locality, the business environment changes. It has a far-reaching impact. Now think about this. GST rate, okay? I'm giving you a classic example. GST rate from 5%, Sarkar says, government says from 5%, it is now 18%, right? It is now 18% on a particular set of products, right? For the smallest shopkeeper in your locality, to Tata, to Birla, to Ambani, सबके लिए it is 18% now. सबकी cost बढ़ गई, सबका price बढ़ गया. So a customer was paying 100 rupees plus 5 rupees GST, 105. अब customer will pay 118 rupees. ये सारे businesses के लिए challenge बन गया. It is a far-reaching impact. It does not care about the size of the company. It changes, it affects everyone. Every single business is affected by business environment, right? Number 1, it is complex. It has so many components. It has various multiple factors and components. It is complex. It is dynamic. All these components, all these factors are ever changing. It becomes dynamic, right? Number 3, multifaceted, right? An opportunity for one is a threat for someone else. An opportunity for someone is a threat for someone else. It is multifaceted. Number 4, far-reaching impact. It does not care about the size. It does not care about the size. It impacts every single business in the world, in the country, in the place where that business is operating, right? So 4 characteristics of business environment. Cool. Any questions? Quickly. 30 seconds. Any questions? Health conscious consumer threat to soft drinks. Absolutely yes. Business, but it is an opportunity for cold drink wala. Absolutely right. And green tea business के लिए क्या हुआ? Cold drinks, it's a threat to soft drink and cold drink, but green tea business के लिए it is an opportunity. Absolutely yes. If people are becoming health conscious, it is a threat for Pepsi. It is a threat for Coca-Cola. But it is good thing for Lipton ka green tea ले लो, Tata की green tea ले लो, right? So that is how it is multifaceted. Right, Ankit? So you learn from short forms. That is something I've never done, so I don't understand. If you can remember, what if you forget short form? Complex, multifaceted, dynamic, and far-reaching impact. What if you do not understand? Short form, you भूल गए तो कैसे याद करो? That is something that I've always thought. Depends on how you want to study. Everything is fine, right? Right, sir. Your tests are rechecked. Absolutely. Importance of business. Absolutely right. That's all the 5 points are absolutely right. Health conscious consumer threat to soft drink. Got it. I got this one. Awesome. Let us go on to the next one quickly, which is why do we have to study business environment? भाई पढ़े क्यों? Why is it so important? समझ आ गया, मल्टीफेसेटेड है, कॉम्प्लेक्स है, इट हैज फार रीचिंग इम्पैक्ट, ठीक है, समझ आ गया. But पढ़ना क्यों है? Why is it so important? I'll tell you why. Number one, determining opportunity and threat. As a business, you should know कि भाई क्या opportunity, क्या threat है. If something is changing in the environment, I will have to study business environment. तभी तो पता चलेगा what is an opportunity, that what is the new opportunity that is coming in the business. I am thinking कि नहीं मैं तो cash पे business करूंगा, and the entire opportunity is missed. People are using UPI, scan करके payment कर रहे हैं, and you as a business person say नहीं हम तो UPI नहीं लेंगे, हमें तो अच्छी नहीं लगती, right? You're losing on that opportunity. That technology is becoming a threat to you now. How you convert that into an opportunity depends on you. So you have to study business environment, giving direction for growth. Once you identify an opportunity, right? Now you understand कि भाई मेरे को grow करना है. I identify an opportunity. Now it gives you a direction. Okay, this is what my business should do in the next 2-3 years, right? Continuous learning increases early identification. If you're studying business environment, it increases early identification. ये तो हमने सुना है, first mover advantage, FMA, right? Short form again. First mover advantage. The person who is first to adopt or identify something, they have an advantage. So if you keep studying your business environment, jaldi se opportunity you will understand. The faster you understand, identify an opportunity, that is an advantage for your business. Advantage for your business means more profit. More profit means successful business. Successful business means that is what your motive is, right? Image building of the company. You should understand business environment for image building. Branding bhi to karni hai. You have to create your business. You have to do a branding. Now think about this. All these people who came on Shark Tank, all the sharks, they got this opportunity. They found this opportunity, right? And they created an image for themselves through that show. And that is something that is going to benefit their businesses as well, right? So they started understanding business environment. Shark Tank wala producer, Sony TV understands the acha. A lot of people are doing startups. A lot of people have done businesses. A lot of people want to raise money, come on TV. Let us do this TV serial. It is going to be a massive hit. They found that opportunity, that identified that opportunity, and they grabbed that opportunity, and that show became such a success, right? Image building of the company. So, and that thing has helped those sharks to build an image of their brands, right? Now we all know both much better, MQ Pharmaceuticals or Bharat Pay. Abhi everyone knows, right? Meeting competition. Business environment mein, one of the components is competitors, and you should always know who your competitors are. You should always be aware कि भाई मेरा competitor कर क्या रहा है. What is my competitor doing? You should always know. And that is why business environment is so important, because you should understand what is your competitor doing and what your competitor is planning to do. Cool? Awesome. Relationship between your business and its environment. बहुत simple है. Business क्या करता है? Business and environment, right? So what happens is, business environment gives resources to business, right? Business environment also gives exchange of information. So what is happening? Now think about this. एक business है. I'm doing a business, right? I am also किसी का competitor. I am also किसी का supplier. For my business, I have a competitor, supplier, I have this, I have a government, I have purchaser, I have customer. Cool. But I as a business, I am also किसी का supplier, I am किसी का competitor, I am also किसी का customer, right? So think from that perspective. The business and environment is interacting with each other. Business के लिए सब competitor को समझना है. You have to understand the supplier, you have to understand the government, you have to understand this. For the environment, for someone else, you are the competitor. For someone else, you are the supplier. For someone else, you are the customer. So they also want to understand your business. So it's an interaction between you and the environment. It's a round interaction. You are giving out information, you're absorbing information. You're giving out information in the environment, you're absorbing information from the environment, right? Dynamic means ever changing. What dynamic? Right? Introduction of Android have far-reaching impact on Nokia. Absolutely. Sabko, Android has changed the entire market. Samsung भी Android पे चलता है, right? What is OTT? Pooja, what is OTT? आपका Netflix is OTT, Amazon Prime is OTT, right? OTT. Actually, OTT का full form is over the top, right? Like your Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Hotstar Plus, all these are OTTs. Cool. So you understand the relationship between business and its environment is that they are interacting amongst each other, right? The business and environment are interacting with each other. It is giving out information. It is absorbing information, right? It is giving out information. It is absorbing information. Cool. Very quickly, we'll understand this last topic and then we'll stop here for today after this topic, right? So when I say information means laws and regulation, new technology breakthroughs, political news, calamity warnings, competitor awareness, new technology, how are we doing this, how are we doing that? बहुत सारी information is there in the end, right? Resources. When we say information, they also have resources. Employees, shareholders, creditors, customers, all these resources are also changing. Someone is working in Pepsi, they switch and go to, let's say, Infosys, they switch and go to TCS. टाटा में कोई काम कर रहा था वो बिरला में आ गया, बिरला वाला जाके किसी और कंपनी में चला गया. Employees keep switching, right? So resources are also shared within the environment amongst the businesses, right? Influence and power. If a firm can influence environment in its favor, it enjoys autonomy and creditworthiness in the market, like Patanjali example. So influence and power. Let us say, if you become a very big brand, like जैसे Reliance है, जैसे Tata है, or like Patanjali, right? If you become so big in the business environment, if you become so big in your business, there are a lot of chances that you can also influence a lot of components in your environment, right? Abhi component mein kya? Suppliers, banks. Now Patanjali goes to a bank and says, I want a loan of 10,000 crores. Bank says, we will give you at 7%. Patanjali says, nahi, I want the loan at 5%. Right? So bank says, nahi, we don't want to give you 5% loan. So Patanjali says, no worries, I'll go to someone else. I'll go to another bank. Another bank says, ठीक है, I'll give you at 6.5. They say, nahi, we want it at 5. They say, nahi, हम नहीं देंगे. They go to a third bank. Third bank says, ठीक है, I will give you 5,000 crores. I cannot give 10,000. I'll give you 5,000 crores, but I'll give you at 5%. Right? Now think about this. That bank is losing 5% also. So Patanjali will tell them, देखो मेरे को वहां से 5%, I'm getting 5%. Do you still want to give me money or not? The bank will say, okay, I'll give you 10,000 crores at, like, not yours, not mine. Let us give it 5.7%, right? Now they're able to influence the environment. When your business is so big, you're able to influence the environment. Environment means supplier, banker, creditor, customer, government, your competitor, right? You can influence all these people. Environment को आप environment मत सोचो. Think of environment like competitors, suppliers, consumers, government, banker. इन सबको influence कर सकते हो if you're powerful as a business, right? And that is what a lot of businesses do. Reliance does, Tata does, Birla does. Everyone who is powerful tries to put influence, put power on their environment, right? Cool. Big Boss OTT is also saying, yes, sir. Big Boss, a lot of examples for Big Boss. Why are you guys watching Big Boss? Sure enough. So what we're saying is relationship between business and environment is business gives out a lot of information, resource, and influence and power to the environment, and it gets the same back from the environment, right? Business gives information, resources, influence, and power in the environment, and it gets the same thing back from the environment. That is the relationship between business and its environment. जो देता है वही मिलता है, right? So whatever you give to the environment, the same thing you get back from the environment, right? Influence and power like electric vehicles, probably yes. So what is happening? A lot of new technology. So what they're doing is more the companies which become majoritarily big in this business will have a lot of influence and power in this industry, right? Cool. Last 1 minute, I'll spend on some questions if you have. They're already 3 minutes over. We will stop here today. And in the next session, we'll quickly run through chapter 2. बहुत easy है. Chapter 2 is super duper easy. Lengthy है. Chapter 2 is a bit lengthy, but it is super easy. Last 1-2 minutes on any questions that you have. Ask your questions and then we'll wrap up for today. right? Tax holiday for 5 days, Patanjali wo SEZ, Special Economic Zone, right, Naveen? So if you start your business in Special Economic Zone, you get tax holidays. I'm really happy you're reading newspaper. Yeah. Nature gives potato and make the chips is called exchange of resource and exchange of information. Can say so, Ankit. Can say so. That's a good example. Very raw example, but that is the right thing. You're getting the right concept, right? How businesses exchange information to the environment? Why not? Abhi information is giving out strategies, apni books of accounts, balance sheet, asset. Acha, so you will listen to this. A lot of CEOs, company ke CEO Aditya Birla Group like Kumar Mangalam Birla comes on a stage, come to let's say ICAI convocation and says ki this is what our business is going to do in the next 5 years. Okay, think about this. Birla ke owner is coming on a podium and telling in the next 5 years our business, Aditya Birla Group, is thinking to invest heavily into fashion clothing. Now, this is an information for the competitors. Abhi H&M bet hai, Zara bet hai, a lot of Reliance Trends bet hai. They are listening to that and they're thinking, yeah, in 5 years they're going to invest in fashion. This is going to be a huge competition for us. That is how they're giving information. That is how a business is giving information to the environment, right? Awesome, awesome. If everything is clear, awesome. Derogate, what is this word, Vanchika? Derogatorily. Okay, so derogatorily means harming someone's image, right? Derogatory, which is unacceptable. Derogatory means unacceptable. Awesome. Like APSEZ, that's right. Second point of forms of business partnership are contractual company. Varsha, contractual means contract hota hai, agreement hota hai. Between partners, there is a written agreement or an oral agreement ki haan, we both are partners. You have 30% share, I have 30% share, I have 70% share. हम लोग business का profit 30-70 में share करेंगे. That is a contractual agreement. That is a contractual co-ownership, right? What else? Quickly, 30 seconds. वरना ओवर टाइम हो गया है. I don't want to stop you guys for more time. No, Shashank, they are not part of HUF. Who is the best shark? So Piyush is asking who is the best shark. So I'll say Piyush. Piyush is the best shark, right? I would really, you have the same name, but different spellings. All right, guys. I think we have. Thank you everyone who's writing. Thanks for the class and session. Everything is clear. I'm really happy that concepts are clear. I think I'm on track. You guys are able to understand. Do write down whatever you have a feedback, right? You have feedback forms after these classes. Go and fill that. It really helps me understand what is lacking or what I'm doing right. Right? If I'm doing something right, do let me know. If you think I should do something more in the classes, you want something else, do write that as well. That is a very constructive feedback for us, what you guys want, right? All right, so with that, we'll start from here in the next session. Thank you everyone for joining and take care, guys.